Hi everyone, thank you so much for being on tonight's training. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there this evening, so I've pre-recorded this training to hopefully help all of the current consultants within the Shore region on their journey to district manager. So my name is Luke William and I'm an executive district manager with R1 International, and I've currently been part of this incredible adventure for just over a year now. And I can honestly say that this year has been the best year of my life, the best decision I've ever made. I've made the greatest of friends, amazing relationships, my confidence is growing, and also I'm building a phenomenal business. So, first tips first, if you're a new consultant, the first thing I'm going to say to you is, do you have a pen and paper ready to write notes? Or do you have your phone notepad ready to write notes? If not, the first thing I encourage you to do is invest in a piece of pen and a notepad and make sure that you always have them at every single training. There will be gems everywhere on your R1 journey, so don't forget to write them down. We can't always trust our memories. So very quickly, I'm just going to share with you why I joined R1. So I actually looked at R1 a few years ago. A friend from work actually invited me along to a presentation, and at the time, I immediately understood what R1 meant and what they were offering. And I jumped in with kind of both feet because I'm generally quite an impulsive person, and I thought, why not? Let's give this a go. So I decided to join the business, but unfortunately, through people and other people putting me off the business, I actually fell away and I allowed people's negative opinions of what I was doing to actually stop me pursuing a dream and this incredible adventure that for me could be massive by now had I stuck to it those few years ago. Eventually, R1 came back into my life again when I was realizing that the people that I'd left to carry on with this journey were actually doing very well themselves, and I'd see them continuing to build their album businesses, and it got me excited and intrigued again. So I actually joined, like I said, the business last January in 2015. It was really important to me to have this business because this business symbolized a lot. When I was younger, I had so many dreams, like most of us do. I was convinced I was going to be an actor for most of my life. And I used to go to auditions. I've performed in the Fringe Festival, Disneyland Paris. I've auditioned for the X Factor. I've been in extras in films. You know, the list goes on. I did so much stuff, and I was so convinced that that was my career path, and I was so driven, and I was so determined to make that a reality. But you know, like most of us, we hit a certain age and we start to realise, hang on a second, I haven't got as much money as my friends, so I need to get myself a job. So before you know it, I'm in a 40-hour-a-week job, and actually, to be fair, I do quite well for myself. You know, I was making a name for myself, I was getting recognised, so therefore I was getting promoted, and I was getting better and better opportunities. But every better opportunity came with more responsibility and more of my life that I had to give away, and it distanced me further and further and further away from my original dreams. And before you know it, you're in this cage, and you shut that cage door, and your dreams are kind of nowhere to be found because then other responsibilities come along. Credit cards, you get a car, you get kids, you get mortgages, and before you know it, you're trapped. You're trapped in this kind of 40-hour-a-week working pattern, and for me, that was really, really scary. So this epiphany of me thinking, gosh, I need to do this business so that I can, A, get myself out of the rat race and out of this full-time working kind of slavery, or whatever you like to call it, and actually think about having a massive vision and massive goals and how I can grow my album business. So it meant that actually I can have a huge income working part-time and actually start to go back to those dreams that I had previously and try and pursue them again. So R1 came to me at the right time, and I always say to people, I am an absolute lifer in this business. So that's a little bit about me, and I'm going to move on to my training. And the topic and title of my training is actually called "Don't Push Your Business Down." It's a really easy trap that a lot of people can fall into, and often you don't realise you've fallen into it until sometimes 6, 12 months down the road. So I'm going to give you an amazing insight, especially to those of you who just started doing this business, to make sure that you don't fall into this trap. So make sure you take lots of notes. So it's really important to remember these words, and those words are, it starts with you. Okay, it starts with you. Remember that word and write it down if you've got your pen and paper. These words are going to serve you for the rest of your life in your R1 business. Even when you're an executive national vice president earning 50, 60, 70, 80, 90,000 pounds a month, these words will still serve you. It starts with you. We have such a gift with Arbonne, and sometimes what we can do is get a little bit carried away in excitement, sometimes desperation, that actually we end up making some mistakes that's going to cost us in the long run. So don't forget the principle that starts with you. Your activity and your attitude is a big part of what you do in this business. So I'm going to run over a scenario with you, okay, about how your business can potentially fall into this trap, so you can recognize this if it ever happens to you. So let's say you started your Arbonne business and you paid your £56 and you immediately get started, you complete your starter order, and you start to share those products and the business with your friends and family in your close circle. Perhaps you book a few workshops with people and you let them try the makeup, you let them try the skincare, whatever system works for you, but you start sharing the products in the business. And what you soon realise is in month one, you're doing pretty good. You've managed to achieve 1,000 PQV in product sale. And for those of you who are brand new, PQV stands for Personal Qualifying Volume. Every product comes with a point, okay? And PQV is actually made up of all the sales from your own orders, any products that you sell at retail price to people in your life, and anyone you sign up as a preferred client who makes a preferred client order will count towards that PQV. So month one, you've got your 1,000 PQV. Fantastic, you're now in district manager qualification. So then we approach month two. Do you do the same? You continue to share the business and you continue to share the products with friends, family, and maybe you stretch out to maybe some acquaintances that aren't necessarily close, but you get on with them. And again, you share the products and people buy them. You again achieve 1,000 PQV. So month three comes around, and you're getting a little bit apprehensive because you haven't signed up anyone into your business, and you're thinking, getting a little bit nervous now, why haven't I signed someone up? I've already had some no's. Some of you will be starting to waver if you can do this. But if you are wavering, you mustn't let those fears get to you. You must continue and push on, because eventually they don't bother you at the end of the day. And don't give up on your dream because somebody said no, because it's not for them. Do you start to get a bit hungrier for someone to join your business? And great news, someone's come along and said yes. They're incredibly enthusiastic. They understand the business, they want this, and they're ready to make it a success, okay? So you immediately encourage them to do a startup order so that they've got tools to share their business. And again, you show them what was taught to you, okay? So you say, let's get you booked in for one-to-ones, let's get you booked in for product workshops, and let's start sharing the business and the products with everyone. And let's say by the end of this month, you've done about 700 PQV yourself, and the new consultant's done the same, 700 PQV, okay? We then get to month four, and you're super excited that you still have this engaged consultant that's listening to you, that's picking up the phone, that's answering your messages, and is really keen to grow their business. So again, you encourage them to book in workshops and one-to-ones, and what you tell them is, I'm going to be there for you every step of the way. I'm going to be there at every workshop, I'm going to be there at every one-to-one, holding your hands, okay? But the problem is, you encourage them to do everything, and you clear your diary for them completely, but you haven't booked your own one-to-ones and you haven't booked your own workshops. So again, you help your new business builder, they get some PC sign-ups, they get some people buying your products, and they start sharing the business. Your consultant has now done, let's say, 1,500 PQV and are in DM call themselves. However, this month, you've only managed to do 150 PQV for yourself. And by this point, your new consultant has also signed up their first consultant. So that moves us into month 5. So you and your direct consultant are super excited that you have this new person joining the business. And between the two of you, you're going to take on the world, and you're going to encourage that new consultant to get one-to-ones booked in, do a startup order, do workshops, and get preferred clients under their belts and share that business. So again, you're now both attending this new consultant's workshops to help them grow their business, because again, you've got someone engaged, they're super excited. They've got new people to speak to. It's all brand new. So you both go along, you both help them with the one-to-one, you both start to teach them, you both start to attend workshops and be there to host with them. But again, you forget to do your personal activity. But the next piece of the puzzle is that your direct consultant has also forgotten to do their activity. So by the end of month 5, You've done 150 PQV. Your direct consultant's done 150 PQV. And let's say your new consultant does 1,000 PQV, the third one in your success line. We've pushed our business down. By getting so caught up in the excitement and sometimes desperation of having these new consultants that are engaged, you forgot about your own business. And in turn, you duplicated that behavior and that attitude to your direct consultant. And now let me tell you this, that will keep duplicating down your business. And that is a really unstable way to build your business. So what I'm saying is don't fall into this trap, okay? Know that this is a potential landmine and do everything you can to make sure from month one or wherever you're at in your journey, that you focus on yourself and then you build and teach the consultants that join you. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a scenario of how it could look. Okay, so make sure first of all, you yourself are sharing the business and the product regularly every month. And make sure you create a plan to stay on track. Have that goal written down and have a diary that you can follow so that you know what time you're putting out your Arbonne business and when, and protect those blocks of time. The second that you say that you're going to have an hour on a Wednesday evening to do your business and you don't do it, that's the slippery road to actually your business starting first. So make sure you stick to the times that you set aside. When you get your first consultant, agree with them from the outset that you will be working with them over a set time period agreed by the two of you to get them to become an independent consultant. Note that title, independent consultant, which means that we should be able to start growing our businesses on our own. We don't expect people to grow their business and know from the beginning, so we work with them. So agree a 30, 60 or 90-day plan to get them completely independent. And then what you do is coach and teach them the methods to how to share this business, encourage them to put one-to-ones and encourage them to learn the DA, and offer support them again with the one-to-ones if they're not very confident doing it themselves in the beginning. But always remember that you teach. Don't just do, okay? If you just do people's businesses for them, if you host their workshops, if you always do their one-to-ones, if you always do the work for them and do the teaching to their consultants, your business will never grow and be sustainable. So it's so key and so important that we teach and support, not just do. Whilst you're encouraging them to do this activity, you must also focus on your own activity. So that is making sure that your consultants see you regularly booking one-to-ones. You're sharing those experiences, whether it's a Facebook page that you've got, or by texting them how your experience went and what you learned from it and what went well, and so that they can see you doing activity. If you're not doing activity, then your consultant won't do activity either. You should never ask someone in your business to do something that you're not doing. And you should never tell someone in your business that you're doing something that you're not. It's all about integrity at the end of the day. So be the shining example to everyone in your business, and that will duplicate. I'm going to leave you with something that's really, really important to remember. Think about your bad habits and start working on plans to sort them out. So if you're someone who's late, work on being on time, okay? If you're someone that isn't organized, doesn't have, themselves ready for a one-to-one, remedy that. Make sure you are ready for a one-to-one. Make sure you are prepared. Because 100% of your bad habits will duplicate into your team, okay? 50% of good habits will duplicate. So we need to do twice as many good habits to make sure that they're really flowing down into our businesses. This is so, so key. So hopefully you've learned something today about pushing your business down, which can often happen. Those of you who are new, or those of you who've been in the business a while, start thinking about this today and work on a plan with yourself, your upline, and the people in your business to make sure that never happens. Do the activity for yourself and show others and teach others how to do that, and you'll have a thriving business. Thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed the training and have an amazing February, because it'll be the 1st of February when this goes out. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.